Hi, it's Mild Red Songbird, Eve Evangeline Einstein, Michelle Birdsong in New York City. I wanted to tell you, I was writing on the musical that I'm writing. I was working on it, and I came to the part about creation, being created. And I discovered in writing that Michelle Birdsong created creation this time around. We have creation other times, and Govinda Singh created creation other times, and Sing Birdsong created creation other times, and like that. So I decided to tell you, show you some pictures about some of what had happened. Okay, this is a sky art. Okay, this is the book Equilibrium of Love, put together by Govinda Singh when he became master. No, he put together Legacy of Love when he first became master, which was a tribute to his master, Charan Singh. Now, and then he had a book, The Green Way, a book about being a vegetarian. It's recipes for from indigenous chefs, the mothers and wives from the particular places. It's international cookbook, provided recipes. So if you want pizza, it would be somebody from Italy. You see what I mean? Okay. Okay, so up here in North Carolina, okay, so what happened was Govinda Singh, okay, all the mines were wiped clean, so they have a new life. And this is what happens each time we take a birth. So, the Michelle Birdsong and Govinda Singh had a love affair going on audibly, the audible live stream in her ear for over a year. So when she decided she wanted a hug and a kiss, to make sure this was real, because it was so perfect, so wonderful. She was so happy. And so it was announced that Babaji was coming from India to America, to North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. And she went there. She rode a bus, 12 hours. And she got there. They had a place for her to eat and rest. No, not rest, wash. And then she went in to see Babaji. And Nancy, another satsangi, said, did you wash good? And she said, oh my God, I thought I washed good. Why did she ask me that? Maybe I didn't wash good. Oh no. So that happened. And then she had been homeless. So that's why she was so looking forward to going there, because she thought she'd get some hugs and some warm welcomes from her friends of 45 years, other satsangis, disciples of Govinda Singh, and they snubbed her. They wouldn't look at her. They wouldn't talk to her, touch her. They certainly didn't hug and kiss her. And she was puzzled. She really was bewildered. But she just sat there, and then she saw Fountain Jones Jr. Fountain Jones Jr. was her son in a previous life, but neither of them knew this. But she had brought a little package for Baba G of writing and photographs, telling him, "Listen, this is this is driving me crazy. I'm having all this information, supernatural information about people's past lives and stuff, and it's frightening. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, I know you said on the past we would get to know our past lives, but you didn't say I know other people's past lives, you know, and help me out here." And so she told Fountain, who she got on the path. She told him about the path, and persuaded him to get on the path. Once on the path, Gurinder Singh used Fountain Jones Jr. as a technical advisor and takes him everywhere he goes. And Fountain won an Emmy for being such a good technical chief for ABC News, television news, or CBS. I always forget which one it is. And plus she knew Fountain for years, and his mother, Evelyn Jones, she knew. So she said, "Fountain, I want you to give this to Baba G." And he said, "Well, if I could do that for you, I'll have to do it for everyone." And he acted like, she was just like everyone else, and again, she was stunned. These people, they're so different than the way they've been for the past 45 years. And so then Baba G comes out. She forgets about these people, gets totally into him, and is just so very overjoyed. And so because he's a mirror, the master is a mirror, so he was mirroring her, and so he proposed and got engaged to the engagement ring and married her. Is it there? Isn't that great? Okay, so, and then impregnated her. And she's gonna have twins. His little girl, Aria, Michelle, Elizabeth Michelle, and the baby of the son. Her and Gurinder and Michelle's source, the sun. And she came to the earth to help Adam because he had self-created and was so scared, he was panicky because he was alone in creation. And so the sun sent Gurinder to follow her, to take care of her, to look after her, to make sure nothing, too bad happened to her. At the same time, he told Gurinder he wanted to physicalize heaven so she'd have, a place to be that's different, decent. And so he said to Gurinder, the son said to Gurinder to, pick out the people and for this heaven and earth and be the architect, set it up, build it, establish it, make it happen. So Gurinder Singh's been working like feverishly to architect heaven and earth. And Sing Birdsong is a projection of Jesus Christ Charan Singh. And he was the first son of Michelle Birdsong and Edwin Birdsong. Robin Birdsong is the second child of the Michelle Birdsong and Edwin Birdsong. Okay, this is a book Robin wrote. Sneezes a Greasy Babysits Abigail. The title and the concept was from Michelle Birdsong. And the illustrations were marvelous illustrations. Were done by T.J. Robshaw, who was the Michelle Birdsong's son in a past life. And let's say that Robin, you should know, was Dr. Seuss. And so she was also Queen Victoria, and standing beside her is Albert Prince Consort, the husband of Queen Victoria, now Earl Percy. Okay, so, again, I could go on and tell you that, Michelle Birdsong has another child with Michael Spear, Melanie L. Spear, and she was St. Patrick. She was, Queen of Egypt, what's her name? The Queen of Egypt was, I'm thinking Marie Antoinette, but that was the Queen of France. But Cleopatra, she was Cleopatra. She also, you'll be interested to know, was the explorer Christopher Columbus. And then Michelle Birdsong was Queen Isabella. Okay. And this is Edwin Birdsong. He was Bach, he was Irving Berlin, he was Mr. Spock, and he was Michelle Birdsong's first husband. Okay, this is Corinda Sling and the Michelle Birdsong. Okay, he's going to marry her again in the physical. In the Church of Cathedral Church of St. John the Divine. Okay, so that's just a little bit of what I'm going to present in the musical Love Struck 3. And I should say that Eve, the Michelle Birdsong, Mother of the Earth, did not come to you empty-handed. She brought a cure for madness. It's called Talk and Share. Okay, so that will help you feel comfortable in your skin no matter what situation you find yourself in or have been in or want to be in. And this is Adam, the Michelle Birdsong. He sings to her as Michael Bublé. So he wants to marry her, just like he married her when she came to Earth as an RN on the very first day. Okay. Let's sing that now. The Michelle Birdsong sings record label, sing music. Okay, it was Superman. What is that? Somewhere I got when it was Jimi Hendrix. I think it was Jimi Hendrix. Stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is 20 minutes from Clarksville, Tennessee, where the Michelle Birdsong grew up. Okay, and then you have grandkids, Ostara Gloria, Hiawatha, Chief Sitting Bull, Sally Kendricks, King St. Kabir, grandchild Lou Ranziger, who was Martin Luther King Jr., doctor, and he was Mirabas, this poet saint. Okay, this says Ranziger, who founded the Dara, the spiritual place where the masters hold sway. And he was also Mr. Rogers. And they have a Red Nose Day where for $2 you can buy a fake red nose and wear it to help feed hungry children. Because Mr. Rogers one day put on Chuckles the Clown's nose to let you know that it's okay to be silly and have fun. Okay, he also was Alexander Graham Bell. And here you'll see Edwin Birdsong waiting for Robin to marry so he can get in her womb and become a human again. He transitioned about 2 months ago. Okay, then you have up there is the grandchild, the oldest grandchild, Jandara Michelle Renzinger, who was Michelle Birdsong's mother, who was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Uncle Sam, Shirley Temple, Rosie the Riveter, and the Saint Baba Jamal Singh. They were all saints, the grandchildren and children. Did you get that? Jandara was Baba Jamal Singh. Seth was Swamiji of the great saint of Agra. Ostara Gloria was Saint Kabir. Lou Renzinger was the poet Saint Mirabai. So, and then the grandchildren, Robin was Saint Francis of Assisi. And Melanie, like I said, was Saint Patrick. And then Singh was a Saint Jagat, Sardar Bahadur Jagat Singh. And then her oldest child, Anthony Craig Williams, was Saint John the Baptist. She herself was Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism, and Tulsi Sahib, the founder of Satmat. Her husband, Michael John Spear, the father of Melanie L. Spear, was Lucifer, who was also a great master. Okay, there you go. So I'm giving you the hierarchy of the Holy Royal Family. Okay, who will be, the powerful people. Because the son told Michelle Birdsong, "You won," he said. And she figures that he meant the good one, because she wanted for the earth to be ruled by the good and the bad to recede instead of the way it is now. And he said, "You won." So it's that's for you. That's for you to know. Okay, over here is Cain and his mother, Michelle Birdsong. This is a video I made. Michelle Birdsong interviews Yogi Captain Devin Gangadine. That's Cain from the Garden of Eden. And then you have Michael Phelps, who was Abel. And he had a problem giving up breastfeeding. He was addicted to Hartit. And Cain got upset because he was the big boy and her breasts were bleeding, and she was so soft-hearted she kept giving him her breasts whenever he wanted her. So Cain tried to stop him one day and killed him. He pulled him and pushed him away so hard he fell and hit his head and bled. So that was a problem. And then the third son, Seth, reborn as Will Smith, St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Thomas the Apostle, John Hancock, one of the founding fathers. And I just saw him today. I was marveling at him because he was the genie in Aladdin. And I realized I still have so much affection for him. And he, when I was homeless at Glad Church, standing in line with Michael for food, somebody said, Will Smith was here. He filmed the film, The Pursuit of Happiness. at Glad Church. It was a homeless shelter. And then when I was at the homeless shelter, when I went to the homeless shelter in New York, that was in San Francisco, at Glad Church. And then in New York, I was at the women's shelter, 350 Lafayette. And they said Will Smith was just here. He was doing a film across the street. And he came over and took pictures with the homeless ladies. You know, so in other words, Will Smith is on my track. And he wants to see his mother, and his mother wants to see him. So hopefully we'll get together. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm an investigative attorney. No, I'm a private investigator putting together the people and their past lives. Like I said, Edwin Birdsong, my first husband, was Bach, and here he is at the theater, at the piano. This is a picture that was on the cover of Time magazine, where he performed the song "It Ain't No Fun Being a Welfare Recipient," written on the album "What It Is" by Michelle Birdsong. So what this family has been about is helping the poor. Like Michelle Birdsong was Dr. Schweitzer, who gave up his practice as a physician, a theologian, musician, successful life in the States to go to Africa in the 20s to help the Africans out. And he built a hospital there. And Gurinder Singh, when he was paying Whitney, the blue blood Americans, the Whitney family left $12 million in his will to build a psychiatric hospital because he knew the ill of the world was madness. And that's talk and share is a cure. Okay, and what else? St. Patrick is a patron saint of the poor. That's Melanie L. Sparrow, and the patron saint of Ireland. Okay. When Singh Birdsong was Jagat Singh, he used to pay the tuition of the poor students anonymously so they could go to college. He was a chemistry teacher. Okay. This is a video of sneezing, starring my grandchildren, Jindara. Like I said, she was Uncle Sam. And Gurinder Singh was Jesus Christ, Supreme Allied Commander, Supreme Command of Allied Forces during World War II, Dwight David Eisenhower, who also became President of the United States, who before he left warned America to stop the deep state, stop them from power. They were getting too much power. And so this is Tonto. Her mother was the Lone Ranger. Her name is Fallon. She's a friend of the family. This is Seth when he was a little boy. This is the founder of the Dara. Okay, that's just a video sneezing, the best family-friendly video on YouTube. And Melanie, who is the mother of Seth, was his wife when he was Swamiji. And she absorbed, he was purifying and meditating, getting rid of the evil spirits. Spirits so evil the neighbors wouldn't even come over the place when he first went there. But Melanie was an empath, as am I. That means she feels the feelings of those around her. So she took on the feelings of the demons that he was getting rid of, which nobody knew that then. She was actually taking on their energy. So she was haunted and tormented as the genius painter Vincent van Gogh, and actually killed herself. She was in such mental anguish, such mental pain. So we've been doing talk and share. Robin was Galileo, who just confirmed what Copernicus said, that the sun was the center of being. And the Catholic Church got so upset they told her to shut up and put her in the house arrest. And she said, oh, I didn't mean it. I was mistaken, you know. And so she felt so guilt-ridden and so tortured being alone for 8 years in her house with the knowledge that she had told a lie, you know, that she had taken back what she discovered. So when I met her, when she became my daughter, she was suicidal. I didn't know she had been Galileo. I just knew that I wanted to be the best mother I could be. So she got an enormous amount of attention, so much attention. My husband, Michael Spiro, said, you give her, she didn't sing too much attention. Sing had been King Saul, who killed himself when he got caught for honor. He thought it was an honorable thing to do. So when I met him, he had a pattern of suicide, which means he could have killed himself again. So and Lucifer, of course, was suicidal, you know, because he's evil. So I had to deal with 4 suicidal people using talk, and I created, with the help of Terence Singh, my master, who is now Giancarlo Arturo, my baby. He said no child should have to live without his mother, and he said to me, we're going to leave only to return, and we'll be together forever. So he's going to come back as my son, and we're doing eternity. So he'll be mine, and we'll be together for eternity, just like he promised. He also said, somebody said, well, would you rather like to see your master again? So he said, I give my life. So he gave his life. When he was 5 years old, when Sarwan Singh took him from his mother, he was Sarwan Singh's grandson, to the Dara, where he made him suck his dick. And so he was, when he grew up and became master, before he died, he became Gurinder Singh, and he lost his identity. So I'm getting a fresh soul, a soul with no past lives. Okay. Wow. Isn't that something? Alright, so this is the story. I see up there's a baby sleeping. So it's time to wake up. And this is what Love Struck 3 is all about. Waking up people. Jimi Hendrix and Mick Jagger. Sing Birdsong was Jimi Hendrix. He was Mozart. He was George Gershwin. And projected of Vangelis, the Greek electronic music genius. And he was a projection of Sly and his Family Stone. Okay, so I woke up to make this video for you, and I'm kind of stumbling because I'm still half asleep. But this is this Shirley Temple Gendaro dancing with Bill Robinson, who was Rail Roach, who said to my mother, you favor Minnow, you favor Helen, my sister. Minnow might be the one to save you all. Okay. So, one more thing, Gurinder Singh is Santa Claus, and Eddie helps me out. He was Santa Claus's helper, and I was Mrs. Santa Claus. Okay, so I'm just telling you the history of the people in your world, some of the people in your world. Bye-bye. The world, the only world there is.